Welcome to day 8 of the 12 days of gifts. Today I'm going to show you guys how to do zipper pouches. If you're new here, welcome. I'm just going to take you on a quick tutorial on how I do this. If you've seen it before, if you want to make your own, here's a quick reminder for you. So you're going to start with 2 outer pieces of fabric that are 8.5 by 7 inches, and you're going to put some fusible fleece on those. You're going to need 2 lining pieces that are the same size, 8.5 by 7. You're going to need a zipper that you're going to trim to 7.5 inches, and then you're going to get 2 tabs that are 3 inches by about 1 3/4, maybe even 2 inches is fine. So you're going to fold those tabs in half, fold them again so you don't have raw edges, and then you're going to sew them to your zipper. And here's how that is done. It's all completely done, and then you get your zipper with the tabs attached to it. You put that face down so the zipper pull is face down on the top of your outside fabric. And you want to even that out to make sure that, the zipper itself with the tabs is going to be a little bit shorter than the rest of it. You want to just even that and make sure it's pretty centered. Because you want those little pieces that are left open, you want that pretty even on either side, and I'll explain to you why. Now, you're going to sew that down. I do use a zipper foot to sew it, and then I just finger press it open. Now, if you are unfamiliar with how to do zippers or if they intimidate you, I do have a tutorial pinned on my site. So if you click on the top button on the right, you'll get to my bio, and there's a video pinned there. Now, I'm going to just top stitch. I flip this around the zipper foot to the other side, and I top stitch, and I make sure that it's really lined up here. So I try and get a nice even stitch all the way down. So you can see how it's lined up on the right side up against the zipper foot right there. So you get a nice even stitch. Then what you do is you take that second piece, put everything you just sewed together on top of it, even that out again, and then put your second piece face down, the second piece of your lining face down. And you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to go and sew the zipper on and just sew that straight on down. So even when using a zipper foot, you're going to have to at one point just stop where you're at and then lift your needle up and then move that zipper pull out of the way. So what I do here too is I get rid of the tabs. So it doesn't really matter how wide you make the tabs because you're going to cut those extra little pieces off like I just did. Then you push that open again and you're going to get another top stitch along this side. Some people question, do you really need a top stitch? Technically, no, but it really helps secure that zipper on, and I think it gives it a much nicer look. It looks much smoother. So here we have the zipper completely sewn on. Now we just have to sew the whole thing together. So what I do is I open it up. I don't go all the way. I open up the zipper almost all the way. The zipper pull kind of gets in the way if you open it up all the way. And then you just go around and I clip the edges together because you're going to sew all the way around the outside. Now remember how the zipper and the tabs were just a little bit shorter than the actual fabric, the piece that you had, that 8.5-inch piece. The reason why it's shorter is that you want to be able to sew along that outside. So you're not actually going to have those 2 pieces open. You're not going to have holes in this. It'll close up, and those zipper tabs, the sewing that you're doing right here, go right up against those zipper tabs. So it all comes together really beautifully, trust me, because you can see right here as I'm sewing around, right here when those 2 pieces meet is if you had the tabs in the way, you would be sewing through way too much bulk right there. So because you have that little bit of space where the zipper tabs aren't, you can sew right around it. Now you could be done. You can absolutely cut your corners, turn it right side out if you wanted to, totally fine. But I like to actually make something called these boxed corners, which means I go around and I do a 1 inch all the way around. So 1 inch tall, 1 inch to the side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them shut. I'll show you in just a minute. So I do it on both sides. I need a 1-inch square on all the corners, and then I pull them together. And what that does, it gives us a nice line here. When you pull it closed like that, you just kind of pinch it together and you get this nice line, and that's where you're going to sew. So you just sew that line shut. You can, you get this nice even line. And when you sew it shut and then you cut it off, you get these nice boxed corners so your zipper pouch can stand up on its own. You can absolutely, not do this step, absolutely forego it. If you don't want it to stand up, if you want a flat zipper pouch, totally fine. But I like this look. I like the way they kind of stand up on their own. It gives them a little bit of body. And yeah, here I'm just showing you how to sew over those lines right there. Make sure you backstitch on either side. You want to make sure that these do not come undone. You do obviously want to do the lining piece as well, because those need to mirror the outside pieces. So once you have these all 4 sides done, and you've cut off the little tips there and they're completely done, you just turn your bag right side out. If you need to, put your hand in there and open the zipper up, that last little bit that you left still zipped up, you can absolutely do that. So you're just going to cut that, and then flip it. And you'll just want to make sure that those corners are popped out and make sure it's nice and even. Here we go, almost done. I also just make sure that I get my fingers in and pop out those lining pieces as well. Make sure they're not, there you go. And then you just pull that piece where you that you left open in order to turn it out. You just clip that shut. You sew that closed and you're completely done. You want to take a look around and make sure you've got all your threads cut off and that it's looking perfect. I do have these available in my TikTok shop down below. I have a bunch of different patterns. So these are a quick and fun project to make if you guys are interested. But if you'd rather just buy one from me for Christmas or holidays or birthdays, whatever, just go ahead and click down below and I'll be happy to send you out what you want.